you're going to speak. Let's see, you're going to be vague. You don't want to give out too much information,
right?
But you are going to hint the stuff you've been discussing,
right?
And no one prompted him to bring up that we're going to have an identity,
right?
It was he brought it up himself, basically meaning that they've been discussing. We need to establish ourselves,
right,
through play calling and play style. And I was just excited because I'm like, what all last year, Tuck, you'll hear before the playoffs, styles make fights,
right?
And they'll always say, well, the Cowboys are a finesse team because they love to just label us that with that, even though our defense ain't finesse,
right?
But offensively, we were just more so. The word that comes to mind with our offense to me is sporadic.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like whatever. The guy Mike Lombardi.
Mm-hmm.
He had some phenomenal quotes about Kellen Moore earlier in the offseason, prior to free agency, where he called him joystick.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
And I just thought it was funny because he was just like, he just kind of gets into a groove, whatever's working that week. There's no rhyme or reason to what he's doing.
Right.
Look, this is a perfect segue. You play Madden.
Right. I was going to say the same thing.
And you build upon your play calls probably in the beginning of the game than what you're going to do later. You setting up stuff.
Right.
It never feels like Kellen Moore was setting up anything.
Never.
He's just doing stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, when you get into games like versus San Fran, where you got a defensive coordinator that's playing chess,
mm-hmm.
and you out there playing ping pong, a game that don't even match.
Right.
That's how I felt like. Are we setting up anything? I feel like if we laid the groundwork, a great offensive coordinator lays the groundwork, mm-hmm. and then waits to the game. Like, okay, the game's on the line. I'm gonna run this play to George Kittle.
Right.
And versus a great defense, something like that. You see how we got set up, even versus our great defense. There were a couple plays they had in their pocket when they really needed something, they went to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when Dak really needs something, it's like, okay, we're gonna run this four option routes, and hopefully it develops into something. There was no definitive. This play will get you open because it's gonna make this personnel have to bite.
Right.
It's gonna make this place have to you know what I'm saying. You a guru.
Yeah.
So I just think it's great to hear that our offensive coordinator, our coach, our quarterback are in sync, that we have to establish some type of identity early in the year, and that's going to carry us through the season.
Yeah.
Sorry to be long-winded.
No, you good. And I feel like that was the biggest thing. And we should be streaming on both channels now. Double check. I think we are. I think everyone in the chat saying we're good. All right. We good. But I think that, that was the biggest problem. And, I have friends who actually played with Kellen Moore back at Boise, back then there he's like with D-Law, right?
Well, break that down.
And the thing is, like, his father was a coach. So like Kellen Moore is a coach's son. So he kind of just came under all of football, right? So they always said, like, even back in college, like Kellen as a quarterback in Boise was always at the chalkboard, just drawing plays. Like, he is a play designer. But what people got to understand is a difference between being a play designer and actual play caller. You got to know, why are you going to something? You know what I'm saying? And be able to explain the why. And I feel like with Kellen Moore, he had a full bag, but he was just kind of just reaching in his bag sometimes, and he'll grab a reverse, and he'll reach in his bag, and he'll grab a formation where he has 5 offensive tackles lined up out wide. Like, it was just a random bag. Like, oh, I'm gonna hit them with this, and it was just like, things didn't make sense. And I think that was Mike McCarthy's biggest frustration, because I was cutting some clips from that Jacksonville game, man, the other day. I was sending to you in our group chat, and I was just like getting frustrated, like, bro, what are we doing? Like, I'm saying, like, what are we doing? But it's just like Kellen Moore never really knew just how to get into his bag and have a wide. Yeah. Well, that's the frustrating part. There were so many things that the Dallas Cowboys did. I'm like, this works. Like, I made a video about the Cowboys using tempo offensively, right? And we came out, we did it out the gate. Dak got into a rhythm. Offense was doing great. Everything looked good. Boom. We ran tempo. Next week, didn't see it. Following week, didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just one of those things where, like, I gave you the tempo. There it is. And y'all remember last year, I forgot who we were playing, where Terrence Steele scored the touchdown. My question was, why would you waste that nap? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
it was like, that's my point.
Yeah.
This sporadicness. I'm sorry, I got frustrated.
Yeah,
it was
right.
like the 3 tight end set.
Right.
You saved that.
Right.
You make San Fran figure that out in the middle of the game.
Right.
Or just like when the sporadicness of Kellen Moore is this. The entire season is on the line.
Right.
I need one play.
Right. I need that one play.
I'm going to put Zeke at center.
Right.
Like that. The guru that y'all been beating the drum for, that's what he got for me?
Right. Yeah.
If I was Zeke, I would have flipped the clip. I ain't going out there and playing center.
Yeah, playing center, right. If anything, bro. So it's like it's just those things, right? It was just
his last play so far.
Yeah, which I hate, which I can't stand that Ezekiel Elliott's last play in the Cowboys uniform, possibly. But yeah, if you go back to the Christmas Eve game, I remember I broke down the film of J-Ron Curse getting that interception. I still don't know how he got it. Cowboys get all the momentum. Here's a reverse. You know what I'm saying? And then you just lose all the field position and all the momentum. So it's someone said in the chat, right? Situational football, knowing why you're calling something and getting into something, man. So it's frustrating, but I'm excited, y'all. And salute to Jess Navarez from DallasCowboys.com, works for the Cowboys, does an incredible job. That's my girl. Salute to you, sis. She interviewed Simi Fioco. And so Simi Fioco was talking about the Tex Coast offense, and he even said it was something it's very similar to what he played in Stanford. I'm just like, okay, so y'all know what I'm about to do. I'm about to go dig and find the Stanford film and break it down and kind of see what's going on. But
bro, we need that.
Yeah.
Everybody, we need that.
So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find it because it's suits my guy Nick's, man. We was talking about Simi heavily that draft. But he was talking about how he's excited because the language is very familiar. You heard Jalen Tolbert on the West Coast with Henny and Landlord talk about he's excited because the things are kind of more simplistic. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of these younger wide receivers be like, all right, now I can just go out there and play football. I don't got to think. I can just use my God-given ability. And this is what I'm excited to do because they talked about it on Speak for Yourself, FS1. Salute to Emmanuel H.
Speak for Dak?
Speak for Dak. We didn't make a logo and change the show to speak about Dak. Speak for yourself. No, speak about Dak, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna change their logo. But they had I forgot his name, James. No, I don't want to say James Washington. But
the dude that played for the Packers.
He used to play for the Packers, won a Super Bowl. So he was talking about how Mike McCarthy is going to help Dak. And the one thing he said that I've been saying is that if Dak is struggling, Kellen Moore never knew how I would say get Dak to the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get him a simple bucket, get him back in rhythm. It's like,
get a layup.
Yeah, get a layup. You know what I'm saying? It was always you struggling, whatever, bro. Keep airing it out. You know what I'm saying? So it put him in a bad situation. So for me, it's like I'm excited to see that. Like, yo, if Dak is reeling a little bit, all right, let's reel things in for a little bit. Quick dump off the CD or to Turpin or whoever or Pollard.
Remember 2 years ago,
get them cooking.
To your point. Remember 2 years ago, San Fran versus Green Bay in the snow, and it was a game on the line, and it was Garoppolo, and it was a slant. It was in the snow. It was bad weather, and I'm like, yo, whenever the game's on the line, it seems like all of these offensive gurus got that player.
James Jones, James.
James Jones. And I'll just be wondering, like, to your point, man, where has been our, hey, Dak, all you have to do is actually make the throw. You don't got to make it through double coverage.
Right.
I'm going to make it to where your best offensive player, CeeDee Lamb, is one-on-one.
Right.
I have confidence that he's going to beat his man.
Right.
You have to be able to make the throw. Not, I'm going to send CeeDee Lamb in between two linebackers on an option route.
Right.
And if you don't see the backside linebacker, you're probably going to throw an interception.
Right. Well, just give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was the frustration with the 2021 playoff loss versus the 49ers. It's like, bro, and Troy Aikman has stated this. You got Amari Cooper out there one-on-one with no safety. I don't care what the play call is. This is where your read goes. Like, it's just sometimes you have to kind of just roll up your sleeves and go to the backyard. And that's the one thing I'll say that Romo did have. Fourth down, Green Bay, on the road. I don't care, bro. I'm going to Dez. Like, that play that Dez caught.
That though. Back when we had Linehan and Kitna, I remember that Eagles game. That one game, I think it was 2018.
Right.
I think it was 2018. And I remember Dak when we first got Coop. No, that was 2019.
2019.
I don't know if Kellen had taken over by 2019. He might have. I just remember at points in that game, Dak was just throwing it up. I think who posted that clip where Coop told him, "Hey man, we're not running another comeback route."
Right. Yeah.
Just throw it to me.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this: if I posted the clip of Dak's first Monday Night Football game is open. At the end of the day, he was just going to Dez. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, just go up to Dez and let your wide receiver do the work, right? So sometimes you just got to get back to that. So I hope that Mike McCarthy is able to coach that back in the day. Like, yo, don't overthink it. Your wide receiver is better than that corner. That's it. That's simple enough, man. So that's, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to spend all day talking about Kellen Moore in the offense, but I'll say, y'all, I'm excited to see what this Mike McCarthy Texas Coast offense is going to really look like, especially for our young wide receivers. But let's go ahead.
Question for you, though.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Is you familiar with, like you be breaking down some of the offensive stuff that I'm learning. What do you think our running game is going to look like in this Texas Coast, whatever offense? Mm-hmm. And how do you think that bodes for the running backs that we're going to have? And I guess we can segue into this camp battle for running back 2, because we already know TP got running back 1 locked down.
See, this is why me and Rome were the tag team champs, because we ain't even talk. We ain't have nothing structured today. I kind of did something already, but let's go ahead and get into the very first topic. So the very first topic that I had lined up is who will win the running back 2 spot. So
no question.
That's one of the things I'm going to be looking up at camp. Now, to answer your question, when it comes to Brian Schottenheimer, his run scheme is a lot more power. So there's going to be a lot of zone runs, inside zone. Salute to my guy, Henny. We did a whole live show on that. But they're really trying to stretch the offensive line, stretch the defensive line, and create running lanes with the vision of the running back, right?
Now, can you explain the difference between Kellen Moore? Because I feel like during that, I know we just moved off him, but I feel like in our old offensive run scheme, it's like we was running out a lot of pass sets.
Yeah. So there wasn't a lot of power run game when it comes to Kellen Moore. Like Kellen Moore would run out of shotgun a lot, and it was like, it's predictable, right? And so the analogy is like I always give for Kellen Moore in the run game. It's like, if I tell my kids to go do the dishes, okay, they'll go do it, but are they really going to do it? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I just felt like Kellen Moore never really wanted to commit to a run game versus Brian Schottenheimer, because you remember he was at Georgia and he had Nick Chubb. Like, has been with a lot of great running backs, you know what I'm saying? So his whole identity is like, listen, we are going to run the ball. In that video that I broke his scheme down, like, we're going to run the ball even when they know we're going to run the ball.
You know what I call it? Running with purpose.
Running with purpose.
We need to have a purpose behind our run, not just this run play look good.
Right, yeah, this is call one. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just call one, right? So it's like, yeah, so it's going to be a lot of the power run game. We're going to see a lot of pulling guards. So that's why we kind of talked about in the drafts, getting some guys that can move because they're going to be pulling a little bit, getting Tony Pollard off the edges. And so, I'm excited to see it. So to transition over into camp, right? The running back 2 spot. Y'all know I'm Team Malik Davis. I love Malik Davis.
You brought me over. I was Rojo for a minute.
Man, y'all, this time, man, when we cut Malik Davis last year, man, on the practice squad, it was like, calm down. I'm like, nah, hell no. Like, he ain't gonna clear no waivers. And we got lucky he cleared waivers, because I don't know how he went undrafted, and I still don't know how he didn't clear waivers.
Yo, if you look at the film, and I know it sounds crazy coming from me. Y'all don't laugh in the comments. But when I seen, like, he flashed all year.
Yeah.
I really don't know why they didn't have confidence in him that 49ers game.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, I'll say Malik Davis. I feel like Malik Davis deserves the opportunity for this spot to be him. So when we get out there at Oxnard, it should start with him. Now, you got Ro Jones. You also got Deuce Vaughn. You also got Rico kind of in the cusp.
I can't wait to see Deuce, man. I hate to be that dude. I know I'm that.
I mean, Deuce is going to be box office, y'all. I covered Deuce heavily. It's funny. I just got back from I'm doing like a lot of stretch therapy, man. So I got my personal trainer, stretch therapist, right? And he's actually a K-State grad. And he was like, man, y'all got Deuce, man. Like, they like people are happy that the Cowboys got Deuce. And when I tell y'all, Cowboys Nation, Deuce Vaughn was a bell cow back at K-State. Like, trust me, like, y'all know I'm a Jayhawk.
Well, break it down for us, because you know better than me.
Man, here's my biggest frustration of draft season. I cut a whole Deuce Vaughn video before the draft, right? And I thought I posted. I didn't post it. So when we drafted, I'm just like, okay, boom, I'm just going to go back to the film. I never posted. I was like, I didn't post the film. So that's why when I dropped it, I just dropped it like no edit, no nothing, just raw, so y'all would have it. But Deuce Vaughn, he's electric, man. Like, I watched him at the Big 12 championship game, and y'all go back to my tweets where I was like, Deuce Vaughn is doing his best Tony Pollard impression at AT&T Stadium. Like, he's very Tony Pollard-esque. And even though he's 5'5", he's not afraid, y'all, to run between the tackles.
He's going to be heck to count. Like, the tackle in space.
Right.
I know it's going to be annoying because he's so, like,
he's shifty.
Agile and
he's
short
shifty.
space.
He's very shifty. So think about, I mean, a fair comp would be Tony Pollard, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So this is why, we'll probably have the conversation next year. But Deuce Vaughn, y'all, like, he's able to carry the workload. I know a lot of people like, he's small. Nah.
Think about this, though. Think about this, how defenses play us, right? So Tony Pollard's on the field. You're on high alert. You know you gotta cover certain cutback lanes. It's just, and this, I promise y'all, this ain't a slight to Zeke. But when Zeke comes on the field, you play defense slightly differently because more than likely you can catch up to Zeke. So you play differently.
Right.
You don't have that, I have to come at this from a certain angle.
Right.
Because if I approach it wrong, Tony gone.
Right.
And I feel like the fact that when Tony comes off the field, you're like, okay, Zeke coming on the field. They're even going to do only but so many things. When we tried out Malik Davis or a Deuce Vaughn, you can't rest on your laurels. We now have, even Rojo, we have some people that look like they can hit the stride.
And so that's the thing, and that's going to be the difference with this Cowboys run game. We literally have 3 to 4 running backs that can really, if you give them the crease, they can go. Because Rojo, like, he didn't get the opportunity here in Kansas City last year because he came to camp late, right? He came in camp late, but it wasn't like he was hurt or anything. It was just like they already had everything kind of filled
Pacheco
up.
Was balling,
and then Pacheco took off. It's like you really can't force him out there. But when I did the film breakdown, like, he has the opportunity to hit his head on the goalpost. Like, he's our veteran guy, but I think with Roe Jones is only like 26, and he has low mileage.
And you know what, bro? This is my hot take of the show. I don't think we planning on cutting none of them.
So I
really feel like they want to insulate themselves running back wise. I think the Cowboys hopefully have learned their lesson to not take chances with certain positions. We should have been a little bit more thorough in our running back room as far as contingency plan for an injury.
Right.
And I think we've learned our lesson, contingency plan for a receiver, but we might touch on that. We can't play the game where if a sprained ankle happens or a twisted whatever, we need to be ready.
Right.
Because the season is too important. But anyway.
Right. And actually, I'm a pause, Rome, because I know sometimes you might not get the super chat, so I'm just going to read them all because I can see them where they're coming. So let me make sure I'm getting all y'all super chats, y'all. Appreciate it on both ends. My guy Nick Reeder, appreciate you. Said, hey boys, hope you're good. Tuck and CFT, the Batman and Robin of the Cowboys Twitter Nation. Respect you all for bringing them Eagles fans back to reality. Man, it's a hard job, and somebody got to do it, man. Sometimes I'll be trying to take a break. Like, I ain't gonna deal with these Eagles fans. And I see my brother Rome out there shooting. I'm like, nah, go grab the strap. I'm like, let me go grab the strap, man. You know what I'm saying? They gonna jump my brother. We grab the strap and start shooting.
That's the problem. They think we too humble to do it. That's
right.
The problem.
Right. So to my guy Tavis Banks for the $9 super chat, $10 super chat, man, says Dave Meggett was as small as Deuce and he got his vibes. Yeah. And the guy that a lot of people compare Deuce Vaughn to is Darren Sproles. Darren Sproles was a guy who also at K-State.
Ain't that his mentor though? Don't they actually talk?
Yeah, that's his mentor because he's K-State as well. He's a K-State alum here. And then also Brian Schottenheimer was with Sproles back when they were in the LA Chargers. So he had, there's that connection. It's kind of that trio.
That's a nugget right there.
Yeah, it's kind of that trio, right? So it's like, yeah, they're going to try to use him in that Sproles capacity. Now, here's what I'll say. When it comes to kind of thinking about the running back room, so you have Tony Pollard set, Malik, Deuce, Rico, Rojo, but people have to remember Hunter Luepke is a running back. Don't just think of him as a fullback. Like
they're gonna sign him like a tight end. Watch.
And so it's just like
I think we're gonna carry 3 tights and 1 full.
So he's in the mix, right? So it's like, if I had to kind of guess on a guy who might be out,
It might be Rojo.
It might be Rojo, y'all. It might be Rojo. Like
I don't want to, but it might be Rojo.
I mean, it could be Rojo or Rico because Rico has had lots of injuries. I like Rico.
You know what? Rico will go right to that practice squad though.
Right. So I feel like you're able to stash Rico before you could, you're not going to be able to stash, Rojo.
Rojo gonna go.
Yeah. So and this is the fun part, right? So for the people who watch my channel, watch your channel, like for us, when we sitting back watching those preseason games, we're going to be counting these snaps. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, starting running back Malik Davis or starting Malik, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are things to watch throughout camp.
All your cuts 1 week.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. And you might get a decision where, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's got to make that wave, right? Because the rules are a little bit different this year.
Can't strategize no more. Somebody going to call him that day. Like, it's a wrap.
Right, yeah. So it's going to be interesting. But if I had to gauge it, I just feel like if Malik Davis gets the running back 1B spot, I don't see him losing it. But here's the thing. I know Tony Pollard's coming off an ankle injury, but it's like, man, let Tony Pollard rest up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want a Michael Gallup situation when it comes to Tony Pollard where it's like, man, TP ain't, and then want to sit back and say, well, Tony Pollard wasn't fully healthy. And, I'm not trying to hear that. Let Tony Pollard fully recover before he goes out there.
I wouldn't mind, if we hit the ground running in camp and Deuce, because Deuce, the best thing about Deuce too, I don't know about Malik Davis too much, you could tell me, he can catch out that backfield, and this is West Coast offense, and that's a big, like, West Coast offense looks at a 5-yard catch just like a 5-yard run.
Right, extended handoffs.
And it makes the defense the defense has to pay attention to that back out the backfield. They can't disregard it like they would with us.
Right.
Normally.
Yeah.
So
now Malik can catch out the backfield. He's not as explosive as Deuce. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. You know what I'm saying?
But come out there and be running back too, bro.
I wouldn't be opposed. I would not be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're getting 2 Tony Pollards. You know what I'm saying? So like by the time you're wearing somebody down with having to worry about the burst of Tony Pollard, then you bring in Deuce and you have to worry about that. So for me personally, I think
they're not gonna give Deuce too much work because I think they look at Deuce like we're gonna use you this year.
He's a future stash. He's a future stash. Right.
So
right.
I don't think they'll stash him. I would be a little shocked if they stash like the Cowboys. Oh, you got a twisted knee.
Right.
Right.
Right. I mean, he's going to be on the roster, right? But it's just like I feel like he is the Tony Pollard insurance plan. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whenever, because Tony, I highly doubt that we bring Tony Pollard back unless he just takes a ridiculous hometown deal. So I think that Deuce Vaughn is kind of that insurance plan, but Malik Davis definitely deserves that opportunity, y'all, and it's going to be interesting to see if he gets it.
That's why I can't wait, Usually, preseason people find ways to
right. This is boring. Nah, bro. Like for people who watch our content, man, we about to be locked and loaded preseason because every little thing we gonna be watching. Because like I said, if we come out and look, man, Malik was running. He didn't get the opportunity to get carries into the fourth quarter.
I can't wait to see what the tight ends start, like snap count for tight end.
Right.
That's my other little thing I want to make a video on because I got my money's in Ferg right now.
Okay.
As tight end 1.
Right.
He showed a lot last year to me, like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And that Travis Kelce cosign, I ain't gonna front. That gets me hyped because it was unprovoked as well. Like he didn't have to give him a cosign. Right.
At all the tight ends. Right.
I got faith in Ferg, but I'm curious to see what Schoonmaker look like. I know how Hendershot get down. Yeah.
So great segue, man. So it's like when it comes to tight end, it's just these are the things, right? I kind of got myself in trouble on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? You know what else is new, right? But I'm saying like. There's so many things that we can look out for throughout camp for storylines that the real meat and potatoes of Cowboys Nation really wants to know. And this, for me, y'all know I love the tight end position. So I am going to camp to watch this. And just like Rome said, that tight end camp battle. Because me personally, I'm with you, Rome. I don't think Jake Ferguson's going out like that. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see, okay, once again, what's the rotation, right? Is he with the 1s? Is he with the 2s? Because what happens when you're at camp for those who haven't been, right? They'll have the 1s and the starters. They're on the fun field. They're on the early field back here. And they'll have like the 3s and the 4s on this field way back by them houses y'all see. So I want to see who's on this field up front. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you do it, your team. People need to realize politics is in football, whether you want. This is not
right.
A place where everything is fair.
Right.
but you be doing your team a disservice. Some things you have to do just for the health of the team mentally.
Right.
You cannot just automatically bench Ferguson.
Right.
Because not only he flashed last year, he did nothing but show that he's getting better.
Right. And he got playoff experience too.
Yeah, you would kill his confidence like, yo,
right.
You never really was the dude.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be mentally strong enough to handle that. I'm just saying, why would you? I can understand getting Schoonmaker for depth and etc., but I wouldn't just bench Ferguson. That would be crazy to me.
Right. Yeah. He's going to have to earn it, man. He's going to have to earn it. And I like Luke Schoonmaker, but once again, y'all know, man, like that was the reason why I wasn't beating the desk for a tight end this draft year, because it's like I was good. Yeah. And here's the thing, man. I thought that Kincaid thing was a smoke screen. I said, oh no, they was dead serious about that, man. So I was like, maybe I'll shut up, man, because it's like I thought we were good on tight end. If
both was on the board, we might not have Mozzie.
Right. Oh yeah. If Kincaid was sitting right there. Here's the thing. I think if Kincaid's sitting there, or they probably could have got, you know what I'm saying? Like, or they probably would try to go get Michael May. Like, that tight end talk was real. That tight end talk was real. And the fact that they I don't want to say reach, right? But they got one because it was.
Let's keep it real. Although I feel like Mozzie's the smarter pick and we got the right player.
Right.
I do feel like we got the right player. If we had one of those other tight ends, I wouldn't have been depressed.
Right. But it was just like, it was just like, we don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We husbands, sometimes, man, I get an Amazon box and my wife is like, buy something like, they look just like the shoes you already got.
You talking about a walk through Target where you like,
yeah. Oh, I really like this dress. Like, I could have swore there's a dress in your closet right now with the tags on it. Honestly, fellas, go to your wife's closet and see how many clothes and shoes still got tags on it. It's crazy. It's gonna really make you mad. But yeah, it's just like you already got that in your closet. And so it's like when it came to drafting a tight end, that's why I wasn't beating the desk for one. Because I'm like, we got two. I mean, honestly, we really got three. Because I mean, we had Sean McKeon too. So it's just like
him. He's not bad.
I mean, he's not the sexiest, but he's enough. You know what I'm saying?
For a third tight end?
Right, for a tight end 3, right? I feel like
I'll ask you a little hot take.
What's that?
I think our tight end room's stronger than Philly's, although they got the best tight end if you put them all together.
Yeah. I feel like room-wise, yeah. Room-wise, yeah. Room-wise.
Goddard is a beast.
Yeah. Jason Witten still pissed me off about that.
But after Goddard, though, I feel like we got 3 starting capable tight ends.
Right.
I just feel like Hendershot is less blocking, more just pass catcher.
Right. And we have tight ends where if you let them go, they're gonna get swooped up ASAP. Like you can't let Hendershot off the look. Because the only reason Hendershot, to be honest with you guys, because I know a lot of people don't dive too deep in the draft. More than likely, he could have possibly went before Jake Ferguson got drafted in last year's class. He just had some off the field stuff, so that's why he failed completely out the draft. But talent wise, when he's at Indiana, he was cooking up too. You know what I'm saying? So, it's good. It's good that it's good that you have options, but I just don't want it to be a situation where it's tight end by committee. You know what I'm saying? Like I want like, all right, whoever wins it, let them win it. Don't be like, okay, we're gonna try Jake Ferguson this game and we're gonna play like, nah, bro. Like if he's the clear cut winner,
well, actually, Schoonmaker the oldest, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And here's the thing with Schoonmaker, those injuries too. You know what I'm saying? He's already been in the boot. You know what I'm saying?
That's why Hendershot and Ferguson give me. I guess excitement's the word. Just right. I'm not worried I don't want him to get hurt, but if Schoonmaker, like I twisted my knee, I'm like, well, all right, well, we already
we'll be good. Right, we'll be good. We'll be good. And honestly, I feel like if we did get Luke Schoonmaker, you plug out Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson is probably going to get you 850 to 900 yards this year.
That's a great year for him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, like,
he's more twitchy than Schultz.
He is. He's going to be.
People gave Dalton Schultz a little too much love.
I mean, he was good, right? But he just didn't have that burst, that wiggle that I always talk about, where if he gets the ball, he can get going on you. Like you all remember in Tampa when he ran that wheel route, Jake, like there's different things that
joint looks so sweet.
Dalton Schultz just can't do, right? So it's just like so yeah, man, we'll see about that. Tight end rotation is definitely going to be interesting to see. Are they running a lot of 12 personnel? Are they running that 13? Go ahead.
This is the battle I'm really curious about. Linebacker.
All right, so linebacker room. We got LVE, Damone Clark.
solidified, I feel like.
Okay.
All right. Behind
that.
I'm like, so who, like, because, linebacker's a physical position in LVE.
Right.
A whole year LVE, you got to almost be ready for any given time.
Right. Yeah. No,
so
I'm not.
Who's next up?
No, if you think Jake Ferguson's getting 900 yards, I say if Jake Ferguson was the guy, like if it was his position, I think he could clip 900 yards.
I think what we're saying, Iceberg Slim, is that if Jake Ferguson has a phenomenal, like the perfect season, I can see 900 as. It's not that we're trying to hype Jake Ferguson up to be.
Right.
We have a phenomenal 3 receiver monster, so it's it's not with so many footballs to go around.
Right.
But if Jake Ferguson can be a product of the fact that you got to pay attention to Cooks, Lamb, and Gallup now, he should be fairly open. Like, he shouldn't have to struggle with who's covering him, because they got plenty of people to cover.
Right. And if you catch our show we talked about that stick route that the Cowboys are going to often run. So he's going to be sitting right there in the middle of the zone. So I feel like if Jake Ferguson was, quote unquote, our tight end 1, yeah, I would take the over on 850 easily. But he's not. It's going to be in a rotation.
About you with some bets.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Easy money. So yeah, the tight end room. So I see a lot of people talking about Jabril Cox. So what is your expectations for Jabril Cox? Do we get the boom in Jabril Cox, or is he going to be one of the odd man out, because you have Overshown now in the room, you have some other guys, Harper as well.
I'll give a little bit of a nod to one of the Cowboys media people that you guys talked to on a final word, to Brian Broaddus, when he was talking about Jabril Cox and the fact that the locker room still has faith in him. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I took from that conversation, just hearing that they was excited to see that, he's still engaged. And I'll give him, I can't come out here and say, Michael Gallup wasn't quite right after the ACL and then ignore the fact that he was coming back from ACL.
Right.
Fair is fair, at least for me. Everybody, for the coaching staff, they might not care. Mm-hmm. But, because the NFL is one of those things, not for long.
Right.
But I feel like he's going to get his chance in camp. It's more so up to him. Mm-hmm. If he can return to what I used to think, which is like his coverage ability should translate to this particular league we're in right now, that's more valuable than short tackling.
Right.
Because a lot of pass catchers, they want to attack the middle of the field because most linebackers can't cover. Mm-hmm. So if he can get back to his previous form, and he showed me some willingness to come up and tackle.
Right.
Remember that Giants game where he put Daniel Jones in the headlock?
Right. Them Giants were so hurt.
I just feel like if Jabril can get back to some of that coverage stuff where, Boss was saying he should play safety at one point. I just think that I would be excited, but he's one of the players I got to see. I got to see if he's not hesitant off of that knee. Because if I'll say this, the reason why, if there's a defensive coordinator who's going to find your best place on the field,
right,
it's Quinn.
Right.
And Quinn will put him in the places it's going to be up to him to take advantage.
Right. Yeah, I agree. But I say, like, once again, it's like I got LVE, I got Overshown, I got Clark. That's 3.
That's what I want to hear about. That's why I tried to tee you up. Yeah, I want to hear about Overshown.
Yeah, so Overshown is a sideline to sideline rocket, man. He's a guy that can fly over the field. He has the speed. Now he does miss a lot of tackles, right? So he does, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna do a lot. Yeah, but he's gonna get to the ball. He's gonna be one of those guys you're gonna see his number always around the ball, right? But he's gonna have to kind of slow play things and let the game slow down for him.
This is what I was thinking of today.
Because he's a converted safety to linebacker, so he's kind of like that.
Curse insurance? I know he's a linebacker.
And see, that's the hard part, right? When it comes to that, because
Kurt's got a linebacker in my mind a little bit too. But
we have a lot of J-Ron curses in house, right? Because we got kind of Overshown, right? But then you also got Marquise Bale that kind of fits that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got those safety / linebacker hybrids. So
I feel like they grew in Izzy to be Malik's backup.
Yeah, and so will Izzy play the free? I don't know. I know when he did the show with Pick Six Sports, like, he prefers to play, corner, because that's where he played at South Carolina. So it's like, I'm not really sure what the plan is, because we got a lot of guys who kind of fit that size, the length, the coverage.
Would say boss, but I ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. Salute to my guy Law Nation in the building. Damn,
that's my guy.
Mr. 100K in the building. What's going on, Law? Yeah, so like you got a lot of people that kind of fit that mold, right? So it's like, who's really going to win the job? I mean, you also can toss.
I don't want Curse to go down, but remember last year when I was talking about the injury bug?
Yeah,
he got nicked up early in the year. So
yeah,
it's good to be insulated with young talent.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I think that, you know, if it comes to Brillo, man, honestly, if I can see the Brillo that we drafted before the injury, then yeah, he definitely deserves a spot. But man, you got Harper, you got some young dogs out there.
Think about Harper.
Huh? Yeah, so Harper's another guy, man, extremely talented, high level,
high boy, boss Cowboy.
Yeah, Harper, man. I probably need to cut down, you know what I'm saying? So OK State. So it's like he's a guy that's just like, he's wiry, you know what I'm saying? So the thing that really stood out when you watched Jabril Cox is like he was a coverage guy, coverage linebacker that can move sideline to sideline, can come down and hit a little bit, right? But if he doesn't have that anymore due to the injury, it's just like, it's unfortunate, but you know. So that's something to definitely keep your eye on when we get out to the camp. Like, you know, once again, who's the rotation? If you're sitting back and seeing, you know, Jabril Cox over there holding his helmet, and you seeing Harper out there, and do we still got Mike Jefferson?
I am happy to house a little bit because we had our back end, like with the Giffords of the world,
right?
We kind of held on to that back end linebacker room so long. I'm happy to just see some new blood in there and just see. Like, I'm excited, kind of like with the running back room. It felt like it kind of got stale.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see Damone get some, because I feel like the end of the year, it will be definitive. Damone Clark will be our best linebacker. Yeah. I mean, unless Micah want to play it, but that's
yeah.
Micah say I'm a linebacker today, he the best, but
right.
Other than that, he an edge.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something to also to consider, man. Because I know this is a conversation about Micah playing full-time edge. Like, he's gonna be back there playing some linebacker. He's not gonna be, you know, just full-time edge. I don't see. So it's like, especially with the emergence that we hope that we'll see with Sam Williams and also, you know, D-Law. You know, so it's like I don't, you know, I'm just like, all right, bro, let Micah kind of roam a little bit. So when it comes to linebacker room, LVE, I got Clark, Overshown. I feel like I should go with Brillo because he's from here. He's from Kansas City. He's from Raytown. But man, I'm like Boss Cowboy, man. I like Harper too. You know,
I think Boss got Harper as 3. Boss was saying, this is what I heard. Boss was saying, like, look, if LVE come off that field, he might not get back on it. He said we might look up and have Harper and Clark as our linebackers. That's what I've been hearing from Boss.
The one thing I would kind of push back a little bit on that is because LVE, he's your IQ guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I'll say this though, if Damone Clark really, because Damone Clark was high IQ too, also LSU. You know what I'm saying? So if he really kind of the game slows down for him a little bit, and he's kind of like the guy that can kind of anchor and be the green dot alongside with J-Ron Curse, then you could see a situation where they might let the young boys run, but I highly doubt it. They're gonna have LBE out there somewhere in some fashion.
You know what I think though?
You know what I'm saying?
Let's not. This is where I don't know. You will call it homer room. People keep forgetting, man. LVE is different with the proper D tackle in front of him.
Right.
Mozzie about to change. LVE's gonna, like, you know, what is this? What happens in Madden when you get the
right? Yeah,
like, LVE gonna be a little bit better.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna keep him clean, right? And that's why I keep trying to tell people who don't understand how things work. Think of Mozzie Smith and Hankins. Like, your defensive line is your offensive line for your linebackers. Like, keep them clean. Trust me, for anybody, you know what I'm saying? I play linebacker, bro. I don't want them left tackles and guards all up at the second level up on me. Like, no, keep them off me and let me flow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's the same thing with LVE, is that if you have, you know, offensive linemen having to double team and combo block on Mozzie because he's out there being a beast, it's going to let him flow a lot more naturally. Now, we know LVE isn't your sideline to sideline guy, but he'll be around the play. He can make the tackle. He's someone you can trust. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I agree.
LVE is going to have a role.
You know why I can trust him? If he needed to be sideline to sideline because I didn't have short tackling in the safety room and I didn't have a short tackler next to him, I'd be more nervous.
Right.
But Dono, tackler, first tackler. Malik Hooker was a phenomenal tackler too. Shout out to my boy DMV, did a great Malik Hooker video recently.
Yes, with the DMV,
so
man.
It's short tack. Gilmore, short tackler.
Right.
We working with Diggs. We working with him.
yeah. So I'm about to say, I mean, pretty much our weakest spot is tackling to be, you know, be Trayvon. So it's like
Trayvon. No hate.
Yeah,
Trayvon.
You know, I love you, Trayvon. Hey, do your thing in the air, man. Let Micah and them guys cover the land. You got everything in the air. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody else is short tackling for real.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing, man. So it's like I like where our defense stands. I like the depth of our defense because there's a lot of guys, man. I don't have defensive tackle listed, but it's like, what does this mean for Neville Gallimore? I mean,
try to be positive today. I don't want to do.
Yeah, and we'll get there, and that's something I always kind of headline as we get to camp, man. We got to understand, like, these are players' livelihoods, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes fans like, oh, cut him. He's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so it's hard.
86 players?
Yeah.
People got to realize we got to cut down.
Right. And you got to be strategic. There's no more COVID rules where you can stash a few extra here. Like, there's going to be some favorites who people like who might not make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be hard, but it's like,
in that receiver room.
Yeah, the receiver room, right?
Simi and Tolbert, I know, look, people keep acting like just because we got Gallup healthy, that's the end all be all. Wide receiver 4 and 5 is important.
And here's the thing, right? And you also got to think about this. And it really depends, because I was going to have this conversation, because honestly, Deuce Vaughn can return kicks if he needs to. But it's like with Turpin, right? If you're going to keep him as a special teams guy, he's a wide receiver. That's going to take up one of those slots for the wide receiver. So you can pretty much say he's wide receiver 4, just lock him in there, whether he's used offensively or not, we don't know. But that's 4. God,
because wasn't he technically all pro last year?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was a Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're not going to get rid of Turpin because he's their diamond in the rough that they found and it worked. Like, their ego won't even allow them to get rid of Turpin unless it's an injury, right? So that's 4 wide receivers. Tolbert was the 3rd round draft pick. You got Simi, right?
I'm looking at him as he would be wide receiver 6, but is that too many?
How many going to keep? I mean, how many are you going to keep on the active roster? Are you going to
cut your draft pick and your boy Moreno Cropper?
Yeah, and so you got Moreno Cropper out there. So it's like, I mean, honestly, they liked Dennis Houston last year. So does he take a step forward? You know what I'm saying? Because like that was
back all offseason.
That was the craziest thing for me to understand. Is like, how did Dennis Houston go from starting week 1 to not active? Like, it was just like Dennis Houston to like not even on the roster. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like that's a huge, you know what I'm saying? Like, God dang, like, bro, they didn't even like give him an opportunity. So it's going to be interesting.
Dennis Houston to stick around because he's the type of player that his pride is limited.
Right.
As far as he's not going to, if they say, you know what, Dennis, we're going to go ahead and knock you down the practice squad, he's like, okay.
Right.
I'm still around.
Right.
And some people might take offense to that because they just feel like their ceiling is higher.
Right. Yeah.
So Dennis Houston will be around. He'll be on our practice squad.
Yeah. I mean, so because you got some young boys out there that can take the job away. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a battle with the wide receiver room. Like I said, we talked about earlier with the new offense. Now these players are just using their talent.
When I watched that clip that Jess put out, or what, I don't know if she put it out, but the clip I saw circulating.
Yeah.
Simi look excited.
But yeah, I mean, he's excited, and a lot of people don't understand when we were breaking down Simi on them 7-hour mock draft shows. Thank God we're not doing that no more. But like, Simi was a deep threat. Like, he was a burner. Like, he's an over the top guy. Like,
right?
Yeah. So like, he's a deep threat burner that can go up and get it. You know what I'm saying? So he just hasn't gotten this opportunity, and we'll see if that really happens this year. Hopefully he lost weight.
They try to turn him into a tight end.
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, I was kind of for it. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of for it. You know what I'm saying? If he want to convert to a tight end, and salute to my guy Simi. He be eating Arby's. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know if he was tall enough. He was 6'3".
How tall is Simi? Let's know in the chat, man. How tall is Simi, man? I think like 6'3", 6'4"-ish. You know what I'm saying? He's not like
bare minimum. You can't be
tight end. Right. So let's see here. Let's go into the chat, man. Let's answer a few questions, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. All the super chats going on. I don't see anyone mentioning Hunter Lupke. We literally just talked about Hunter a little bit late, man. Came late to the party, man. We're talking about Hunter, man. We also
gonna make the team though. I feel like Mike really got an affinity.
Yeah. Hunter's a lock, y'all. Like, it would be like Hunter Lupke would have to go out there and completely just fall off the map.
Stephen Jones mentioned him by name.
Right. And they put a little extra in the bag too. And like I keep saying, like, you're gonna have so many Cowboys fans say fullback. No, he's a running back. He can do a lot of different things. Check the film session.
I feel like he's gonna be. I need to. You know what?
He might be the short yardage guy, man. I think he's really going to be the short yardage guy, where it's just like, we need those 2 yards, 3 yards.
I kept holding out mental hope I think the fan in me was like, they're gonna bring him back. 2-1 coming through that door.
I think 2-1.
And then like something happened over the last like 3 weeks where I'm like, I don't feel it no more.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. You know what I'm saying?
In my mind, it was there though.
Right.
Because I can't help it. I 2-1 my dog, but
it would have to be a boatload of injuries. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like it would have to be something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? But
don't trip though. 2-1. Everyone is waiting.
He's gonna be good.
Have a home.
Just all I ask 2-1. Just don't not in the division.
You better not go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't, man. Don't. Please. You know what I'm saying? You got me and Rome and so many Cowboys fans like out here fighting.
Like the happiness I had for Ware when he went to the Broncos. If 2-1 went somewhere and we can't do it, obviously, I'm not saying we can't before everybody get excited in the comments. But if he goes somewhere and has some success, I'm fine with that because I feel like he deserves it. You know, I just don't want to see
unless
you're right.
Unless you know what I'm saying? It depends. There's like 3 teams he just can't go to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
give me outside of the green one.
Yeah,
division.
Yeah, he can't go in the division. You know what I'm saying? He can't go.
Anybody else outside the division? You can't.
Yeah. He can't. So send me 6'4". You know, like I mean,
he better not be no Niner. I hate the 49ers.
Man, can you imagine? Could you imagine? Zeke goes to San Fran alongside Christian McCaffrey, and then here we are, and then Zeke just goes crazy on our defense.
Or Charger. I don't want to see him with.
I mean, if he goes to the Chargers, he'll extend his career because he ain't getting no carries out there with Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a free.
Hey, can I say one thing real quick? Sidebar from all of the actual football talk. I've been really enjoying because I hate the 49ers, and you know why? Because
right.
It's a different type of fan base.
Right.
I've been enjoying watching the Eagles get frustrated with them.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm like, yeah, I've been living with both of y'all.
Yeah.
So it's funny to watch them go at it.
Yeah.
And I can just be on the sideline and watch them argue and forget about us.
Yeah. Salute to Deebo Samuel. He just hung up like I'm done with it.
I was like, oh, this is good. Because it don't involve us. So
right. Yeah. Yeah. Somehow they'll make it about us. Let's see here. All right, cool.
Hey, everybody that's in the
salute to my girl Aisha in the building, superstar Aisha Morris in the building. What's going on? Let's see here. What she say? I gotta scroll through all these comments, man. They said,
hit the like button for me though.
Yeah, hit them likes up, man. Appreciate all support. Both channels. Yeah, go over if you haven't subscribed to CFT, man. I don't know what y'all doing, man. Go over there and subscribe, man. Like my brother up, man.
Look, we're gonna punish somebody's round table before the season starts.
Yeah, man. They keep asking for it, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole clip loaded, man, but it's not the right time yet because I'm ready to shoot.
No, we still gonna talk football. We'll give them one little what we call it, recess. We'll give them recess.
Yeah. So Jackie's a good question. So Isaiah Land, he will not see the field this year, or Marquise Bell. I feel like Marquise Bell has the best opportunity in the second year.
I think they want to bulk Land up.
Yeah, and I think Naisha, if she's still here, she can kind of confirm this, but I think he was training with the linebackers. You know what I'm saying? So he was saying, here's the crazy thing I'll say about Isaiah Land. So did the Isaiah Land video, it did 90,000 or whatever.
Yeah, I need to go check that out.
So I reached out to his agent trying to get him on the channel, still ain't got nothing back. So there hasn't been no interviews with Isaiah Land as a Cowboys player, except one guy. And I do not know who this guy is and how he got to the Cowboys locker room with the camera. I looked up his channel. He got minimal views, but he's sitting there interviewing Isaiah Land in the locker room. But it's like, when it comes to Isaiah Land, it's just like, he's going to take time to grow, but he's going to be another of those, kinds of ace in the hole that Dan Quinn has for the future. He probably special teams guy at most, but he can get to the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can get to the ball. And when it comes to Marquise Bell, he has a lot of J-Ron Curse in him.
People like Marquise, Isaiah Land, special teams is your best friend.
Yeah, right.
So find a way to get on the field no matter what, and you can work your way on. Just be around.
Right. Just get a job. Like that's the number one thing. Just get a job, man. And if you just get a job, you'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Get on special teams, work your way up, become a special teams guy, and you'll be all right. Okay, Aisha said, let's see what Aisha just said. 1 second. She just said, Isaiah Land's going to grow into one of those ones. He has something to him hard to explain. Yeah, I know, sis. I love him. I love Isaiah Land, man. And here's the thing, like I said on Twitter, the funny thing was last year when I was watching Marquise Bell, because I was talking about Marquise Bell last year, and everybody's like, Tuck, who were you talking? I'm like, bro, are y'all not watching this kid? But it was a game where both him and Isaiah Land was both going crazy. And for those of you who don't know, like, when you watch college film, you just gotta watch a whole game. Like, you can't skip, like, it's just raw. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be watching a player on the left side, and all of a sudden this player on the right side is just cutting up. And I'll be like, well, who is this? You know what I'm saying? Who's your friend? You know what I'm saying? Who's your homeboy? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I
really appreciate the Cowboys tapping into the HBCU.
Yeah.
For everybody that might not be familiar. That's near
big.
to my heart.
That's big. That's dope. And for FAMU, man, I'm using that. I'm like, hey, we a Cowboys pipeline. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for recruiting purposes. So I like Isaiah Land. He does have a lot of special qualities about him that the Cowboys and Dan Quinn's definitely going to like, and they'll probably work him around. Like I said, special teams most.
That's the key, man.
Yeah.
Hey, they need to keep that man happy.
Right. Keep him happy.
Dan Quinn, that's the key. I don't want to hear because after another successful year, that's why we need to get it done this year.
Right.
We only gonna hold on to Dan Quinn for so long.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we you know what I'm saying? We can get close dodging some bullets, man. But Dan Quinn, like I said, that was our best, offseason acquisition.
That's a fact.
So I want to go into something really quick, man, before we get up out of here, man. Unless you got some time to keep cooking.
Oh yeah. You go through.
Offensive line rotation, right? So we kind of know where our starters are going to be. Maybe Terrence Steele will keep an eye on that as we get to camp, but as far as like the left guard position, because I just did the film breakdown on Matt Waletzko, and he's kind of cross-training left guard and left tackle as well. Like, who do you think that rotation is really going to be? Do you think it's going to be, Chuma, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, who is going to be that second layer when it comes to our offensive line?
So this is the hypothetical as if we had to bump Tyler out, right?
Right. I mean, I don't want to assume it, but we can assume it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't assume. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, okay, so Tyron's out. Tyler's your left tackle. Where do we go from there?
I think it's between Chuma and Matt Farniak.
So let's do this, right? Tyron's out. Terrence still isn't healthy to come back until October.
I can tell you what's gonna happen. That's why your video on Matt Waletzko is way more important than people think. Because Waletzko, I feel like, is going to start. I feel like Waletzko going to play the first 3 to 4 games.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I
people
agree.
Don't like. I know people like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
No, I really feel like Waletzko is going to play. And when Waletzko is healthy, I don't think people realize that Waletzko can play a little tackle for real.
Right.
This ain't the Josh Ball factor.
Right. Yeah, and of course I have a bunch of people in the chat like, why are you talking about him? He's not going to get on the field. He going to be on the field in some capacity.
See, I ain't talked about that yet.
Yeah, he going to be on the field. And here's what's really going to happen. And Craven Cowboys, salute to her, and definitely check out her channel as well. I think she just started a channel. And here's what I love about Craven Cowboys, kind of just going off the cusp a little bit. Just started the channel brand new, pretty much, and already stepping into the land of breaking down film. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm trying to encourage everybody in the community, like, just try it. You ain't got to be a guru. Like, my first film video, I don't remember which one, but it's probably trash. Like, but step outside your comfort zone and push your education. It's only going to make you better. So
learning stuff. That's
salute.
All you gotta do.
Yeah, educate yourself, educate the fan base. But going back to Matt Waletzko, I feel like this is going to be, because we our right tackle, even though he's kind of injured right now, we got to pay him too. So Stephen Jones gonna sit back and see.
Good though. I got faith in our guy that's
Terrence,
a Cowboys coach, but not really a coach.
Yeah. But
I think that Terrence still looks fine. I just feel like they don't rush him unless he looks phenomenal.
But what I'm saying is they're gonna test it out to see, could we possibly roll with Matt Waletzko? Because I mean, the Cowboys turned water into wine with Terrence Steele.
Period.
Yeah. So I feel like early, if Terrence Steele isn't healthy, they might say, let's try Matt Waletzko at this right tackle spot and just see. You know what I'm saying? And if so if Matt Waletzko really kind of excels at it, they might sit back and say, you know what? Stephen Jones always plotting. We can save some money here with this right tackle position. Go with Matt Waletzko, have a left tackle, and go get a left guard. So it's like,
question for you though, Tuck. Chuma is like a serviceable guard. He's not special. He's not completely horrible.
Right.
Like, he ain't Josh Ball horrible.
Right.
If you put him between our guy and our center and Tyler Smith, he could probably be functionable. But do you think Asim or what's his name?
Bostic? Yeah. So
you think any of these other guys can make a great leap in camp to where we might be like, we can move off Udoka. We got something here.
So at the left guard spot, watch Matt Farniok. I feel like Matt Farniok.
That's why I said his name.
Yeah, Matt Farniok should be probably number 1 in the pipeline. And then Asim Richards, I like what he did at North Carolina, but he's a rookie, so you never know. Like me personally, I watched Chuma Udoka's film, and it's just like, it's what we call a jag, right? It's just a guy. It's you know what I'm saying? It's a guy. You know what I'm saying? It's a guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. It'd be like if we had, what's his name, Collins, not Lyle, but the other Collins at right tackle. I mean, he's a guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I ain't trying to roll out there with that.
Everybody got hurt. Knock on wood.
Right.
We have no choice. Throw Udoka out there.
Somebody just mentioned in the chat, my guy TJ Bass out of Oregon. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him in camp and also in preseason. Okay. I haven't watched the film breakdown. Him whooping them Georgia boys around. He was holding his own. So TJ, so you got Matt Farniok. You got
This is all hypothetical, y'all.
Yeah,
we all know what
yeah,
the
bro.
best
We it's July 11th. You know what I'm saying? We got 3 weeks to if we can. You know what I'm saying?
Look, my goal is best 5. I'm giving Tyron Smith this one last shot.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Just give him a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I got faith in Tyron Smith. I can't help it.
Right.
Because if he's upright.
Right.
It still ain't many tackles I'm taking over him.
Right. And you just got to prolong them. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe got to bubble wrap him a little bit. But yeah, so Matt Farniok, Asim Richards, TJ Bass, I'll probably go with.
That's a great point, Tuck. If we win in some games, you might need to go on and put Tyron on the bench.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we get off to a little hot start, you know what I'm saying? We got some kind of filler games. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna chill a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Chill a little bit. You know what I'm saying? My guy Earl Bostic out of Kansas, he's gonna be more of a tackle. He can play left tackle and right tackle. He played primary left tackle at the University of Kansas, though. But he's solid. I love Earl. But the hard part with the offensive line, there's just so many of them right now. So it's gonna be, once again, them reps, man. Yeah, it's them reps, and like Rome just said, there's a huge wave that guys, like, you're not going to be as safe as you used to be. You know what I'm saying? Where you might get a second game or a third game and kind of can float a little bit. If you don't get too many reps that first game, and you know what I'm saying, things ain't looking too hot, you might get the X. So,
and don't trip. For everybody that might be worried about the massive cut of losing like 20 players at 125 or whatever the exact number is outside of practice squad, do remember that our scouts, Will McClay and them, are keeping their eyes around the league too.
Right.
So we might catch a gem that some other team drops.
Right.
It goes both ways.
Right, yeah, because they got to make them same cups. So it might be a swap. It's like, okay, well, damn, man, I really liked TJ Bass, but then there's another guy who might have been a 6th or 7th round pick who got cut, and we're like, we're gonna swap this out and swoop them out. So yeah, but yeah, those are some of the guys I'm kind of keeping my eye on. When it comes to Chuma, I don't know, that would be the shut up J Tuck, player that kind of emerges, but I don't see it. I'm just like, I'm trying, but I ain't gonna force it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I just don't, nothing to get excited about.
We down to leaning on Chuma. I'm just gonna say it like this: things went terribly wrong.
Right.
Everything went terribly wrong.
Right. Yeah. And so hopefully that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? But here's what I've been trying to explain to a lot of people. If Matt Walesko doesn't get hurt last year, I don't think that we see Tyler Smith at left tackle, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy.
Me on Twitter. I'm sorry. Emmanuel Acho.
Uh-oh. There we go, man. There we go.
I tweeted that speak today and said, y'all talk about Dak every day. This is the second Dak talk this week. And oh my God. I couldn't help it.
There we
go. Talk about the most famous players in important teams.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. That's the topic for another day.
Yeah, well, hey, we getting close to having some of these guys come on our show and sit down and talk ball with us. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like we gonna kill him, we gonna get him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I just want to hear your side. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we not gonna bow, but I want to hear your side and let you explain it. Let me be clear. Yeah, it's all gonna be respect
for what they do. I just would love to hear them outside of a show producer's
arena. Right. Right.
So you can speak your mind clearly and not feel like you got to say something you don't have to.
Facts. You know, it's kind of like playing basketball, you know what I'm saying, on a team versus actually playing direct. Like, can you just go to the park and hoop? Like, sometimes we come into the park and we just hoop, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I put this slide together like 5 minutes before the show. So me and Ronan discussed that and we just turn on the cameras and come out here and hoop. The last question, man, I want to talk about the cornerback position because we kind of leaned into it a little bit. Which young cornerback is going to survive, man? Because I feel like there ain't going to be a lot of room in this cornerback room because you have Diggs, you got Bland, you got Gilly. My guy, Jay Lou, he's out in the ring boxing right now.
Act like Jay Lou he left.
Yeah. So my guy, Jay Lou is out there. He's boxing in the ring. So, you know, he had the injury. But
Jay Lou let me make this clear, y'all. Deron Bland is phenomenal.
Right.
And we found the gym. Jay Lou is phenomenal too. He is not bad.
Right.
Earlier in the year, when we were beating the Bengals and we were beating the Rams at full strength, because we beat the Rams with Cooper Kupp,
right,
and Stafford. No one was hurt yet.
Right.
Jay Lou was playing.
Right.
So realize that he's not like a slouch. Like, oh, that's the weak point.
Right.
When he went down and AB went down,
it was the combination of both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it was. So then boom, that's 4. That's Jay Lou, right? And I know you can probably save about 4 or 5 million or so. You know what I'm saying? Then, like my guy Iceberg Slim just said, is he a safety? Is he a corner?
Hey man, I'm not letting Izzy go nowhere.
Yeah, so Izzy is so I mean, because it's like for Izzy, he played corner in the playoffs, so why not want to build off of that? You know what I'm saying?
I'll say it, Tuck. It's 2 names. It's Nashawn
and Kelvin Joseph.
Man,
yeah,
or Kelvin.
But because also okay, so boom, you had Gilmore, Diggs, Bland, Jay Lou. Let's toss Izzy in there. That's 5. You gotta toss in CJ for special teams. He ain't going nowhere.
He grandfathered in.
So that's 6.
Those 2 might go. Nashawn, and I really like Nashawn's mentality.
Right.
It just ain't been there.
Right. So a lot of people say, okay, well, you got to keep Kelvin Joseph because the 2nd round pick, right? And also because of special teams. But here we got to understand, y'all, the special teams and the kickoff rules, they changed this year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
if Kelvin was going to take a spot, he should have took CJ's. Right. But he kept getting penalized.
Right. Yeah, because that's what a lot of people say. Like, you know, they'll say, "Oh, we got to keep Kelvin Joseph because special teams." And I was jumping and screaming and spitting when he got that fumble in San Francisco, right? But that ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like it's I forgot, and Eric Scott Jr. who we drafted and moved Trey up the draft.
He's not going nowhere neither. You're right.
So it's like, bro, like
he got that shiny new toy to him, so he not.
Yeah, man. And I mean, like I said, I apologize, Eric Scott. I was not familiar. Like, Eric Scott literally lives in my same neighborhood. I had no idea. I wasn't familiar. I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, it was just like, who? Because I remember they kept talking about in the newspaper, like, oh, yeah, the hometown kids getting drafted. And then Dallas Cowboys kept saying, like, who the hell are you saying who we draft? You know, like he goes to the high school. You know what I'm saying? Right behind. All right, well, cool. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, so you got Eric Scott. Where you fit in? Harder.
I forgot about Eric Scott.
Yeah.
How many corners we carrying? Let's start with the number.
I don't know. 6 at the most.
And then how many? 4 safeties?
Yeah, 4 safeties, probably.
Izzy got position flex, so he ain't going nowhere.
Right.
He been
right. Yeah. So Izzy's a lock. It's just like, but are you going to mark him as a safety in the box or as a corner? Right. So let's just say just to make it easier, let's put Izzy as a safety. Okay. So boom, Gilly, Bland, Diggs, Jay Lou, Eric Scott, CJ. That's 6.
Boston and Nashawn gone, bro. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mind ripping the Band-Aid. Boston and Sean is gone. I know 2nd round pick and all that. He going home. Because if that 2nd round pick was kicking in, Gilmore would not be on his team. Right.
And here's another factor when it comes to that, man. It's like at the end of the day, when Anthony Brown went down, Jay Lou went down, We had to go get Trayvon Mullins. We had to go get Xavier Rhodes. I mean, the Cowboys called me up and said, "Yo, Tuck, can you run?" Like, they're calling everybody, right? So it lets you know that maybe their faith ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said,
you will get Camp though. If he show up and show like his athletic, because it ain't never been athleticism.
Right. It's just up here, right? So it's like,
so if he show up balling, maybe I'll shut up. But right now, he going home.
Yeah. And I feel like either of them are going to have a camp where it's like, damn, Tuck, man, you out there just beasting him up. You hyping him up like he's going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And even if he goes crazy, it's to be cornerback 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to have to go crazy just to get on the roster. Because I don't think special teams is going to save either of these guys, because at the end of the day, Eric Scott Jr. can be a gunner. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make a gunner. You know what I'm saying? So
they love his, his measurables is Will McClay and them got a type.
Right.
Almost like our tight end room.
Right.
They got a type.
Right.
So Eric Scott Jr.'s measurables, I feel like he's going to slide. Eric Scott is going to replace Nashawn.
Right.
And I feel like, not to be funny, the person that would have to just ball out is, because everyone else kind of has a definitive, they're not getting rid of J. Lou.
Yeah, it's just
that's our insulation at slot.
Yeah, J. Lou is slept on. I got a video.
Corner, backup corner. Who's Diggs' direct backup?
So his backup would be probably on that right side. I'm not sure.
It's funny, they've been cross training Bland for outside, so Bland probably kicks out and J. Lou
can go on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Because J. Lou can play
outside.
He has. So I mean, but I'm not sure who would be the outside over him or Bland, right?
Either way, that's the direct backup.
I mean, but Ezzy play on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and Bland is young enough to where they would, if they needed to, they could start J. Lou, and his pride, I don't think he'd be broke, because I think that the team is pretty reassured Bland, he gonna be around.
Right. Yeah.
So I think he'd give a nod to Lou when he gets back if we needed to.
Right.
I feel like he's going to rotate in though. I don't feel like he's just going to be completely relegated to the bench.
Right.
So that's our top 4. We know our top 4.
Mm-hmm.
Right below that, Eric Scott Jr. by default.
Right.
Unless he just can't play.
Yeah. But I mean, they traded up. They traded up to get him though. You know what I'm saying? Like they pride. You know, I don't know, y'all.
Eric Scott Jr. and then that 6th was CJ Goodwin.
Mm-hmm.
Who's after that? I think that might be it.
Yeah.
No, and we know by default, break glass in case of emergency. Izzy can get some corner going. He can get in there.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nashawn, and look, I think that his mindset, he'll get a chance somewhere else for a little bit. He ain't gonna just be gone forever.
Right.
And boss man, maybe he just needs to. Maybe you know how sometimes you need that really horrible event to get your mind right.
Right.
Maybe him just getting cut, he'll go somewhere and be phenomenal. But
he'll be like Kadarius Toney. He'll probably be, you know what I'm saying, somewhere firing shots at Cowboys fans. But it's just like
he'll end up with green on his helmet.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he'll be perfect. You know what I'm saying? He'd be perfect over there, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He would fit them perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Angry at us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell, man. Like, nah, bro. But it's just like, he is really going to have to step up, bro. And it's like, at this point, who's the sponsor in the building still? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said,
ain't no sponsors left.
That's what I'm saying. There's no sponsors left. The injuries happen, and you still didn't get, like, the tell-all was the playoff game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they was like, nah, bro, like, we can't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we watched that Jacksonville game the other day. I'm just like, Trevor Lawrence said, oh, who's this over here?
Oh, you remember what Aaron Rodgers did?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like Aaron Rodgers, Doug Peterson, they both said, "Oh, what do we have over here?"
So Mike probably got it out for him on the low, because that Green Bay game meant a lot to him.
Well, then you remember there was kind of some cryptic tweets after that game. Was like, "Yo, when you get your opportunity, we need you to be ready. This is not no little boy game." You know what I'm saying? Blase. Now, I don't want to kind of harp on the off the field stuff, but it's like there's still the music. There's still, you know what I'm saying? There's still the. It's just
I don't want to say something. We'll leave that one alone.
Yeah, but it was it's just still going on. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like for the Cowboys, you know, these young boys, these Eric Scotts and these, you know what I'm saying, coming in, like, they not coming to play with you.
Our team has a mindset like, and you would have to. This is the one thing I agree with the national media about right now. One of the topics that's floating around. You have to realize that the opportunity is there, and you got to seize it. So anybody that's not taking this season seriously on our team needs to be gone. Or, you know what I'm saying? I feel like all the major players realize it, but the way that our team seems locked in,
right,
from veterans to recent additions to, leadership. I'm talking about coaches on down.
Right.
Everyone seems locked in. We don't got time for somebody that's like, yo, I got an album dropping. I'm not trying to be mean.
Right.
But this is one of those years. This is not. Who's a team that just. I know Tampa saying they're gonna be balling, but if you on Tampa right now,
right, you can get away with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I mean, or if your team won, like Kadarius Toney, he raps too. Like he raps here in Kansas City all the time, right? But he just won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can win a Super Bowl, you can rap wherever. You know what I'm saying? I might buy a few copies. You know what I'm saying?
I bet you look, Andy Reid got them locked in. He ain't playing.
Y'all see how Kadarius Toney was kind of acting a fool. And I guarantee you that someone, probably Pat Mahomes, cut that out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my bad.
You ain't
gonna hear him ever again, bro. He said, I apologize, I got hacked. Like they're like, oh no. Like we don't do that here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my frustration with the situation is I sit back, right, and I watch Jalen Tolbert, right? Season was probably a failure in his eyes last year. He even admitted that on the show, right? But every time I'm seeing Dak, I'm seeing Tolbert now. You know what I'm saying? Every time I'm seeing Cooks or Brandon Cooks, I'm seeing Tolbert now. So that's what it takes, man. Optics.
That's what I love to see. Like Cooks got him under his wing.
Yeah, see, I don't want to see videos and all this stuff, bro. Like I want to see you with Gilmore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see you in the lab. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just I don't know.
I saw him under Gilmore, just follow him around.
Right.
Make me smile. Like,
right. Yeah. So yeah, man. So yeah.
And they got him in the safety room because they don't know where to put him.
Right. So yeah, I mean, so there's that whole conversation. So we'll see. But I feel like, him and Nashawn, they gonna have to ball out at camp, man.
Chance. Because if he was gonna get cut already, he'd have been cut.
Right.
Chance, and look. You can call me a hater or whatever. I want to be wrong. I would love to say, yo, my second round pick just took a little time.
Right.
I don't want to be right.
Yeah, I don't want to be right. Yeah. But you gotta give me something. You gotta give me something.
I'll salute, and you know me, I'll fill the Kool-Aid cup back up.
Right.
But right now, the Kool-Aid gone.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, man. But that's all I had, man, for camp, man. Anything else, bro, you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, y'all just let us know, man. Y'all want us to make this a little bit more regular.
Yeah,
I know we can't do it all the time, but Tuck, my brother, so we're gonna jump back in here and do another show. Definitely when camp is like happening, but Tuck will be there for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna
when
be
he gets back to the home studio.
Yeah. I'm gonna be out there at camp, man. So for those who don't know, I just shortened my trip up a little bit, man. I was gonna be out there for a full week, but salute to my guy DMV, man. We're going to the Earl Spence and Crawford fight the weekend before camp. And I'm like, man, that's a long time, man. Doing Vegas and then being a week at camp, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna be able to last that long, man. So I'm gonna be there at camp for the first 2 days of pads. The 31st, I think that is. It's a Monday, whatever Tuesday is, man. Out in Oxnard, because it's important for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because that way y'all get what we see versus, and here's the thing,
real boots on the ground. We'll leave it like that.
Yeah, boots on the ground, man. I'm not trying to knock anybody for what they do at camp. I love the Cowboys media. We're all in the same building, but sometimes it's like we need people to see different things from a different perspective, and I just feel like what some of us are able to add, so we'll continue this conversations, man. So my guy Roman, for everybody who's seeing you for the first time, let them know where they can find you, my guy.
Appreciate you, bro. It's Cowboys Fan Talk on YouTube and Cowboys_Fan Talk on Twitter. Be warned, Twitter get a little crazy. I apologize. Trying to reel it back in, But me and my brother, man, we just try to give y'all the best content we can. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate all the support from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not a full-time position.
Right. And
it takes a lot of work to do what we do. But we love y'all. We love the game. So that's why we do it.
Facts, man. Facts. It's just the passion, man. The passion. Like we do it for y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. Every chat, Absolutely. Comment, like, follow, share, just everything. Just saying we appreciate, man. That's we give back to the people who give back to us, man. For those seeing me for the first time, JTuck151 on all social media platforms. You can find me on Threads, man. Threads a little slow, man. Threads a little slow. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to mess with you, Zuckerberg, but Threads a little slow right now. But follow me on
I like the Threads. You can type out like a whole paragraph.
It's cool. I mean, there's a lot of cool thing with Threads, man. But it's like I call us the Twitter refugees, right? We're coming over from Twitter, right? So we know how to interact. You know what I'm saying? I see other content creators, and I see Rome over there. We're having conversation, and you had the Instagram people and the Facebook people. They're like, I was like, bro, like,
it ain't the same.
Yeah, man. Pick up the pace. Pick up the pace a little bit, man. YouTube channel CFO Sports, man. Comment, like, subscribe. We are trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before the first game of the season. If we do, I'm going to take 2 Cowboys subscribers to the first game versus the New York Jets and see Aaron Rodgers. So we got to get I think we're 1,000 away. So we got some work to do, man. Appreciate all the support, man. CFOsportstalk.com to get your merch. Also merch below. Appreciate, man, all the support, man. We gonna keep things rocking until we get to camp. I got a show tomorrow night, I think, with a content creator. Well, not just a content creator, it's an Eagles guy, but it's not gonna be one of those shows, I promise. My guy W, man, for those of you who play Madden, he's like a 2-time Madden champ who's won the belt, won the bag, won, you know what I'm saying, big money. So he's gonna come on and talk Madden. Yeah, he's gonna come on and talk Madden tomorrow, I think, and then, he's an Eagles guy, you know what I'm saying, so he'll talk a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? I'll mute his mic, you know what I'm saying? So salute to that. Then we got some other shows in the pipeline. I don't know, maybe Emmanuel Outro, he gonna set something up. We can find you the show. I got RG3 reached out to me about some stuff, so we're working, man. We're working, but we cannot do this without you guys giving the platform. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys. So I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and let's get ready for camp, y'all. Peace.